Hello everyone, welcome to the DPB podcast. I'm your host, Ryan Mondis with DisneyPinsBlog.com, the latest news on Disney pin trading and collecting from around the world. This is episode number 155 for the week of January 7th, 2019.
Welcome to the Disney Pins Blog Podcast.
Welcome back to the podcast, everyone. It is just myself this week, but I'm hoping Jen will join us for next week's episode. A pretty decent week for pin news. We have a few topics to cover, and then later for Disney Pin Chat, I want to talk about the world's biggest Mouse Party pin release at Disney parks. And then I'll end off the podcast with the top 5 most visited blog posts for the month of December. So let's get right into it with housekeeping. Just have one thing I want to mention today, and that is the Prima Dreamers collection that we recently announced. Those are the Acme LE200 pins, the Hot Art Lanyard trading pins. We did have a portion of those to distribute at Disney Pins Blog, and we just have a few left. So if you guys were thinking about getting those, you can head over to dppstore.com. The On and Elsa ones seem to be the most popular out of those 4 pins. And Marie is definitely a popular one as well. And my favorite, of course, is the Jasmine pin. All right, now let's head into the pin news. First, let's start off with Disney Store. They got 2 really cool pin releases this past weekend, and they're from Oh My Disney. And they're actually 2 pin sets that feature different Disney princes. And there's funny quotes on each one, like the Prince Eric pin from The Little Mermaid. It reads, "You mermaid for me." We have a Flynn Rider that says, "Can't stop the smolder." There's an Aladdin pin that says, "Stealing hearts." And then the other pin set has Hercules. It says, "Swipe right material." There's a Kronk pin that reads, "Hey, what's cooking?" And then we have Prince Charming that says, "They call me Prince Charming." And there's also the Prince on there as well from Snow White. Both of those pin sets are open edition. They released at Disney Store retail locations, and they're going to be appearing on shopdisney.com as well. Retail price for those are $14.95 each. Next at Shop Disney, you guys might have seen I got my December park pack in the mail. This one features Mulan. I did an unboxing video on our YouTube channel. The blog post is up, but the pins are really nice. People seem to like the Mulan one a lot. Limited edition 500, 3 different variants in that collection. And there's some confusion right now if this is the last one or not, because Disney Store did email us last year, and they said that there were 8 boxes remaining, which took us up to December 2018. But then if you check your subscription, it said it renewed for January 2019. So I guess right now we're just going to have to wait and see if we actually do get the next park back, if they bill us, if they're going to continue this or not. Because they did say that it was ending, the 3.0 version. All right, next we're going to head over to BoxLunch. They had 1 pin release this past week, and it's a really nice one. I love it because I'm a Peter Pan collector. It features the Big Ben clock, and you have the silhouette of Peter Pan and the Darling Children. That one is open edition. Retail price is $8.90. All right, now let's head over to Hong Kong Disneyland. They had some exciting pin releases. First, they had a few for Valentine's Day 2019. There was a Winnie the Pooh pin set that features Winnie the Pooh and Piglet, and they're holding these little heart balloons. It's like a 3D rubber element on the pin, and the backer card says, "I'm thinking of you." And then there were 2 love letter pins. They both feature Toy Story. The first one features Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head, and then the second one features the little green men, the little aliens. Both of those are hinge pins, and they open up to read. The Mr. Potato Head one says, "From my heart to you," and the little green men says, "You're the chosen one." And then they had a Moana pin release, and I heard this one was very difficult to obtain because you had to win a game to actually be able to get the pin. It's a limited edition of 300. It's like a jumbo pin. Features Moana and Hey Hey. And in the background are the little coconut guys. They're on like a little slider element. Beautiful colored flowers at the bottom. Just a super bright, nice pin. And that is exclusive to Hong Kong Disneyland. All right, next let's head over to Shanghai Disneyland. They had a few pin releases for the Chinese New Year, which is the Year of the Pig. The first one features Mickey and Minnie. It's a hinged doorway pin that opens up to reveal Goofy, Donald Duck, and Pluto on the inside. The second one features Duffy Bear and Shelly May. And then the third one features Donald Duck and Daisy Duck. And the center of the pin looks like a lenticular element that has the storybook castle. in the middle. Very nice pin. And then they also had a mystery pin collection that features 10 different pins, various Disney characters, all with the Chinese writing for the Lunar New Year. And then next in Shanghai, they had a Dumbo live-action pin release. This was actually at the Shanghai Disney store, so not at Disneyland. It was actually at their Disney store retail location. I'm not sure if this is going to be appearing in America. Right now, it is just exclusive to Shanghai. And this is the first pin set that we're seeing for the new Dumbo live-action movie coming out on March 29th. It's a 3-pin set, limited release. All right, next we'll head over to Disneyland Paris. We got a preview of their pin releases for January 2019. The flyer has been released. There are a few 2019 logo pins, Wreck-It Ralph, Tinkerbell, Star Wars, lots of nice ones there. And their next pin trading night is going to be on Friday, January 25th at Disney's Hotel Sequoia Lodge. All right, now let's head over to Disney Studios for Hollywood. Their next pin release is this Saturday, January 12th, and it features Alice in Wonderland Cuties. We have Alice, Mad Hatter, White Rabbit, March Hare, and Cheshire Cat. All of those are a limited edition of 300 with a retail price of $16.95. And then finally, for the new pin releases this week at Disney Parks. First, we'll start off with Disneyland. They have their final 2 Windows of Evil pins. The first one featuring Scar, and the second one featuring Cruella de Vil. This was a very popular collection for 2018. It's ending off here at the beginning of 2019. Limited edition of 2,000. Retail price is $16.99 for each one of those pins. And yeah, that was a very successful collection. And it's going to be transitioning over to Windows of Magic next, later in the month here in January. Both of those will be released this Thursday on January 10th. And then moving into the shared pin releases, we have the next monthly collection at Disney Parks. Last week we had the Vintage Vinyl collection. This week we have Kingdom Consoles, which is the video game collection. First one featuring The Little Mermaid. It is limited edition of 4,000. Retail price is $17.99. That is available on both coasts, Disneyland and Walt Disney World, this Thursday, January 10th, 2019. So those are the exclusive limited edition pin releases this week. Be sure to check out our weekly pin post at DisneyPinsBlog.com in case any new open edition pins are released. Now let's head into Disney Pin Chat, because this week I want to focus on the world's biggest mouse party, which we do have a few other pin releases this week at Disney Parks. These are being released on Monday, though, the day this podcast is being released, Monday, January 7th. So first, starting off at Disneyland, they have an exclusive mystery pin collection. It is limited release. There are 2 pins per box. They all feature Mickey Mouse with various attractions in the background at Disneyland. Retail price is $19.99 per box, and there are 9 different pins in this collection. So both coasts have a specific limited release collection for the Celebrate Mickey Mouse mystery pin series. And then for the Walt Disney World version, same thing here. There are 2 randomly selected pins per box. Retail price is $19.99, and it'll be released on Monday, January 7th as well. But the Walt Disney World version features different attractions, like you have an Epcot one. There's the Tree of Life at Animal Kingdom. There's also a Tower of Terror pin, which I'm excited about. And yeah, just a few exclusives for each coast, which is exciting. And then there's one more pin release that I need to find out more information on. It's the world's biggest mouse party key pin. If you guys recall, whenever we announced the January preview, this key was on both coasts, Disneyland and Walt Disney World. And then Disney made an update to the monthly pin posters, and it was removed from the Walt Disney World version. So it's only out at Disneyland. I guess we'll see. Maybe it'll still appear at Walt Disney World. We'll be sure to keep you guys up to date and be sure to update that blog post whenever we know. But it is a mini jumbo pin. It's all gold. It is limited edition of 1,000. The retail price on this pin, though, from what we heard, is going to be $54.99. So $55 for this pin. I know it's a mini jumbo, but that price is just a little bit high for that pin. But yeah, once this releases on Monday, we'll be sure to let you guys know. As of right now, though, it looks like it just might be a Disneyland exclusive. And since we're on the world's biggest mouse party, if you guys didn't see, last week there were 3 new open edition pins that released at Disney Parks. One says, "Let's Celebrate," and it has Mickey on it with his little birthday hat on. The Second one says Unlock the Fun, and it's got a gold glitter embellishment castle in the background with Mickey at the bottom. And then the third one says World's Biggest Mouse Party, Let's Celebrate, with red glitter embellishments on that pin and Mickey at the top. All of those pins are open edition, available on both coasts, with the retail price around $10. Alright, so that's going to do it for Pin News and Pin Chat this week. Before we go, though, I do want to mention our top 5 most visited blog posts in December of 2018. Let's count down from the 5th one down to number 1. Starting off with number 5, it is the 2019 logo pins. So those were the ones at Disney Parks for 2019. The 4th one was the December week 1 blog post. So that's the weekly pin post for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. The 3rd one is actually the Disney Wisdom collection at Shop Disney in Disney Store. So that was the 3rd most visited. The 2nd one was the January pin preview. We just announced that one like right after Christmas. And the number 1 most visited page for December 2018, no surprise here, it is the December 2018 pin preview blog post. So that's the monthly posters for Disneyland and Walt Disney World. That is number 1. And then since this is technically the first podcast of 2019, I did want to also mention the highest traffic page for 2018. So the entire year at Disney Pins blog, what do you guys think was number 1? It is the 2018 Hidden Mickey blog post. So yeah, people love Hidden Mickey pins. The 2018 Hidden Mickey blog post was number 1. Alright, so that's going to do it for episode number 155 of the DPB podcast. Thank you guys for listening or watching. Really appreciate it. Hope you have a great week. See ya.